Hello there. Once again, it's Anton from Anton Bay. Thank you so much for stopping by the collection room. Today we're taking another look at some comics. This time it is Alpha Flight from Marvel Comics. If you like Alpha Flight, please check back on some of my other videos. We have been going through the entire series. We're getting very near the end. And if you want to flip through every single page of Alpha Flight with me, all 130 issues, we will get there. We're up to issue 121 to 124 today. This is, in my opinion, some of the best art-wise that you're going to see in Alpha Flight. Best costume-wise. Not the best team, not the best writing, but certainly the best visual production of the book throughout probably its entire run. And we're getting Spider-Man to boot. Gotta love Spider-Man. Gamma Flight. So yeah, throughout its history, this comic was plagued by Marvel not caring. And I don't know what happened in this last time. It's probably just by luck that they finally started to get an artist who was really pushing the envelope on just the better art. This is, of course, in the late 90s now. This is before things got too heavily done with computers. And you can tell there's just a vibrance to this work that just looks fantastic. And there's been some issues in some eras of Alpha Flight where I have to be very disparaging on it because it's not good. And storyline or not, at least you can look at this and go, man, the art is great. It does, Alpha Flight does still suffer, and this is an example of them suffering from it. The problem where when anything big happens, they have to incorporate another big star because Alpha Flight just can't have a big thing by themselves. I think this woman is naked for some reason. But I love Heather's glasses. Yeah, so that's one thing that always plagues the series. They can never handle these big story arcs or these big villains or these things. They're almost never allowed to deal with these things on their own. And I think that does damage the coolness of the brand as far as the team. That is a great opening page. Look at that. Holy terror. Mario Brothers. Fun fact, me and my brother rented this from the store on VHS when it was new. And we were very mystified by it, but we didn't hate it. In fact, I think we kind of liked it because we watched it 2 times in a row, right back to back. We rewound it, we started it, and we watched it again. There's only a handful of movies I've ever done that with. One of them is Josie and the Pussycats. Watched that in theaters, walked out, bought a ticket, went back in and watched it again. And Mario Brothers, I did it. And I think the Ninja Turtles movie, when we got that, we started watching that just back to back, just over and over. Yeah, this stuff looks so good. I mean, it really does. It really looks good. Except for Sasquatch's head looks a little weird. I'm just going to say it. It looks a little weird. That's a rockin' page. Yeah, there's something so comforting about this book. And this was back in my opinion, back in the days when you heard of Canada, it sparked a certain, it conjured up certain images. I always thought, when I heard Canada in the 90s, I thought of like movies like Canadian Bacon. I thought of TV shows like The Red Green Show. Positive things. I thought of the McKinsey Brothers. I thought of beers, maple syrup, all that stuff. Nowadays, those are not generally the things that are conjured up when you think of Canada. They seem to have changed quite a bit politically up there, and it seems kind of odd. And at one point, I know I would have loved to go there and visit and be a part of Canada or live there, but it's not something I would do anymore. But This is just like the golden age of Canada to me. And maybe that's just, you know, as a foreigner, maybe that's just how it was portrayed in media. I just always thought it was great. Although I have to say, I did meet a couple Canadians during the time I was reading this kind of stuff. And they were some of the nicest people I'd ever met in my life. And that does stick with me. Anyway. Yeah, who they got drawn? Heather. Now, Heather is never normally drawn as like this big voluptuous sex symbol. This guy does draw her a little sexier than she normally is. In most comics, she does tend to retain that kind of a modest housewife look, even as a superhero, which I think suits her as a character just tremendously well. Just easily one of my favorite characters from the entire book. I've always been wild about Heather. And of course, Wolverine always was wild about Heather too. He is always falling in love with married redheads. Gotta love Puck in this series too, and that's another thing that's appreciated. When you get back to this later era, Puck's uniform is fantastic. And I wish when Marvel Legends had done a Puck that they had done this uniform maybe instead of his original. I think all the teams would have looked better in these suits as figures as opposed to like the original outfits that they went with. Not that those are bad, but I do think these, look better. I understand the others are more iconic, but stellar art does continue. A blood sacrifice. Nice panel work there with the wobbly black. Dungeons and Dragons, something or other. Looks like she's ready to snap his neck. Okay, her legs are super disturbing. I always hate it when like bipeds have like fawn legs. They should not do that. That is like so gross. Oh no. No, he shouldn't come back. I can't stand that guy. Mannequin. Worst powers ever. Worst character ever. Total BS. Can't stand that guy. Mannequin, Goblin, Wind Shear. These are bomb characters that they have here. Shouldn't even be in the book. They're just awful. And how you can take a guy like Puck is just an acrobatic short person and he can rule so hard. I don't know. But not in love with his blue uniform. But we're doing that. And that is pretty much all it is for that issue. So that is it, guys. That is Alpha Flight 121 through 124. Like I said, we are getting closer and closer and closer to the end of the series. And if you guys like videos like this, if you like Alpha Flight, give me a like, give me a subscribe, or don't. It's all cool with me. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. That's my story. Catch you guys later. Bye.